Okay, Larry, it is time. First, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I do look forward to doing every job. I really do. But some jobs, it's nice to have a change. I've been doing a lot of mechanical chronographs. I haven't had a chance to do a 7A in quite some time. These are two 7A28s, two of the greatest 7A28s. Gen 1 RAF, the real deal. What a watch. And then, of course, one of Seiko's greatest, 7A28-7020. Yours is 7049. Where are my eyes? It's 49, so North America. These are going to be fun. God, I love 7As. What the heck was that? There was actually enough power? This thing has a battery in it, and it was enough to tick that over? Really? Or was that an illusion? Did that really happen? Huh, weird. Okay, well, let's 6 1/2 dozen the other. I'll figure it out. I'll choose one and we're going to go for it. All right, today's the day. And so it begins. I say, you know what? I love doing both models, but let's get going. Let's make it happen. This crystal is, unless you're really concerned about that little scratch right there, there's another one over there. I don't know. I personally, I would keep this crystal. Because this is, that is the correct Seiko crystal. I don't know if this thing has been, well, I'm sure it was military. They got these things, they were serviced constantly. 6645-99. That's a pretty nice looking movement. Okay, it's original too. We can see that we've got, there's the original gasket. We can see that's in great shape. A little bit of dirt and grossness around here. The movement looks okay. It looks bright and shiny. I don't see any servicing marks. That doesn't mean anything, but if I had to guess, I don't think this watch has been serviced. If I were a betting man, I'd bet that it hasn't been, and that crystal is the original one, and that this whole watch is original. I can't. I'm not going to put money on that because I'm really not a gambling man. But yes. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. What a beautiful, beautiful watch. With these, it's one of the few times Seiko did fixed lugs, the wire lugs, because that's a military requirement. Yeah, I don't think this will be I think this is going to be pretty straightforward. Biggest deals about these, of course, is that they are, they're straightforward. They're beautifully, beautifully made. They can be challenging to service, I think in large part because they have so many wheels. I mean, these things they have so many wheels. They have so much going on. 4 separate trains, it can be extremely daunting to put them back together. Taking them apart, well, that's easy. But putting them back together, especially the main train, the main model train there, because it has 7 pivots just on one side that you have to get all lined up and ready to go. And if you're not right, and it's really easy to do, you will snap a pivot, typically on one of the stepper motors. Ask me how I know that. So that's the biggest challenge with these. Taking them apart isn't bad. Making them clean isn't bad. Putting them back together after a full service, that's a little time consuming. But seriously, one of the greatest movements in the world. People talk about Seiko automatic 6139s, right? And about how much Seiko would charge to recreate one. I can't even imagine how much Seiko would charge to recreate the 7As. I can't even imagine how much money one of these would cost. It's one of those things where it would be so expensive, there would be no point in doing it because you can get originals for so much less. Okay, so we have all the screws out now for the anti-magnetic shield. A little bit of haze, but all told pretty clean. Here's your circuit. Again, clean. Boy, there's nothing like when you open one of these things up and it's had water inside and you just see the rust just across the circuit. Ugh. Everything will be destroyed. But not this one. Nope. Looks pretty good. Note for people who are playing the home game, if I were really nuts, I'd be using a set of nylon jawed tweezers, but I kind of don't. What in the heck? What am I looking at there? Wait a minute. I thought I was seeing things there for a second, and I gather that I was. Good. Just a little confused. So there is your circuit. Look at that. It's perfect. Look at how beautiful that is. No damage at all. God, water just wrecks these things. Okay, so now you can see the inner workings. You can see easily, you can see most of all 4 trains. 12-hour register, 1/10 second register. This is the one with all the big jewels because this one turns so much. This lower bit here, that is the main plate and extends all the way under here. And this is the plate for the sweep seconds hand. This is the friction spring that stops the sweep seconds hand from moving during its clicks. This is the little connector for your variable trimmer to adjust accuracy, and we're going to do that a little later on. Okay, now before I get any further, I need to pull hands and dial and all that other kind of stuff, so I am gonna do that. I also have to be very, very careful when I'm pulling the screws for the coils. Each register has its own coil, and so it's real easy to jack those up if you get a screwdriver slip. So I'm gonna start ripping this apart. You're not gonna see it because I want to be right on top of it. Okay, getting there. I still think that this has not ever been serviced. This is your original crown seal, crown gasket, and I touched it and it shattered. Ancient. Hard to believe it used to be rubber. So this is the calendar side of a 7A28. Look at all the crazy machining. Look at all the ports and the jewels and the inset posts and all the other stuff in there. What a crazy thing. Someone sat down and designed this. It's just wild. And then they built it. Okay, so now we are to this point. I'm going to pull first off, I'm going to pull this green. It's called the movement block, movement spacer, something like that. I'm going to pull the chronograph bridge, and we're going to look at basically, I'll pull this off, and then I'm going to go off camera again because I've got to pull all these different trains apart, especially this big one, and I want to make sure everything's good. So again, I'm going to have to be right on top of it. I mean, some of the pivots in this model movement are incredibly tiny, like thickness of a human hair. You know, that typical thing. Come on. So the spacer block, the big, most important thing it has is these 4 little connectors, and because they talk to the circuit from the switches. And where these often end up with problems, especially when you get water inside, is that, yay, I got it, hooray. Is water gets in, and typically one of the seals will fail, typically for one of the buttons, and so you've got buttons here, here, and here. This is the top of the watch. Water will get in, and these things, these are the click levers. They will just rust solid. I mean, to the point that like the pins rust out of the plate, and they're just gone. Point being that unless you know for a fact that the seals have been redone in one of these, do not get it near water, ever. I mean, if they made like a completely sealed circuit module that was sealed in of itself, and they made all the parts in here in stainless, interesting. That's the ghost of old lubrication. Huh. Wow. That's a lot more lubrication than I would have expected Seiko to have used. You can even see it. You can see this like cold little... Yeah, look at that. That's lubrication that... Right there, you can see the ghost of the old lube. That's a lot of lube. Wow. Okay, so let's pull off the chronograph bridge because that's easy to deal with, but then I'm going to have to come off camera and really rip this thing apart. So we have screw, friction spring, another screw, and another screw, and that we come over here. These two notches in the side, they're specifically for picking the bridge up. That's what it is for. Yeah, so there is the underneath of that bridge. And now this is the I'm sorry, this is the wheel for the main sweep. There it is, in all of its glory. And now you can see, a lot of the jewels that are in here. But if you were really crazy, you could replace, I always think about doing this, find and replace all of the bushings with jewels. Can you imagine? I mean, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more jewels, 6, 7 more jewels, plus Lord only knows what's on the other side. I'll count them up and see. Okay, so here are the registers. This is for the main train now. This is for like the timekeeping gear train. That's what this is here. That is the second sticker. This is again the 1/10 second, and this is the 12-hour. Here's your setting lever stuff, hacking lever. This is right in here, the hacking lever right there. That's the stopper. So when you're dropping this main plate in, you've got to drop in all these pivots. 1, 2, this center wheel, boom, 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 boom. That's the killer right there. And you have to do it without breaking anything, while also getting that hacking lever to not run over anything. So I'm going to rip all this stuff apart. I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to come back. Basically, it's going to look like this when I come back. But that's what we do. Well, that's going through its first stages of cleaning. What might be fun is let's pull this stuff. Let's get that crystal out of there. Look, it's a giant thing. Let's get our crystal press going. A little piece of paper in there. Looks like I'm gonna need a spacer. That is just too darn low. It's okay, I'm sure I've got one. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, put some padding in there. You never want to do it live. Come on. Aha! Yeah. Knock it off. Everything's a pain in the butt. Okay. There that is. Here's the original crystal. Yep, sure enough. All right, well, I'm going to clean that up, and we will get ourselves, need to go, let's get this baby out of here. Come on. Kind of break the seal here. It's been in there for so long. And we kind of keep going around, and we'll work it out. There we go. Here's the case. Jeez, it's in nice shape. A little dirty. What are you gonna do? So now let us pull the buttons. They have a C-clip here. Now, typically when people are doing this, I say, please don't do this out in the open. You put this thing in a plastic bag. Of course, I never follow my own advice, because even though I should, this is something you got to be careful of. These are very easy to lose. I mean, they're not hard to find, but it's just, and I have replacements. It's just, I guess, a matter of pride. I don't want to lose my circlips. Yeah, and then you have to be careful too. Look, I see a little bit of magnetism in there. Look at it, it's turning with the thing. Yeah, look at that, and it just went kapoink. There's that. Last one. Yeah, the way to do this is you do it inside like a big Ziploc, and then if a circlip does go kapoink, then you have a better chance of finding it. Let's see. Okay, so like I said, where is the circlip? Worst comes to worst, if one lands on the floor, you can pick it up with a magnet. And I do have replacements anyway. Dry and a little dirty, but not bad. That'll clean up beautifully. Now, of course, all right, so these are each of your buttons, and they all have these tiny, tiny, tiny gaskets, which just rip apart. So we got to do that. And say, come out, out, there. They're the three parts that make up a button for one of these. It's got a spring rest washer on the spring, the gasket which is gone, and the button. Boop. All this stuff gets cleaned up. All right, get these rotten old seals out of here. Okay, last one. Lots of hairs. Only 3 o'clock already, gosh. How'd that happen? Okay, let me get this case rolling, and we're gonna have a great time. I'll come back and we'll see how it's going. Okay, and we are back. Brand new battery is a battery that is brand new. There, that was my little interval music. Okay. So you can see of course, all the trains are back together, and as they you always gotta be careful. Can't forget it. And that, folks, that's the contact for the variable trimmer. I don't know what the actual term for it is. I'm sure there's a term, but you know, I know what I mean, and I think you might too. This is the default position, vertical this way. Right. Look at that, nice and clean. So clean. Make sure, oh good, I am recording. Excellent. When I'm bolting these things back together, I like to start, come on, buddy. Hang on, Mr. Circuit. What do you think you're up to? Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Try that again. There. Drop that one right in the middle. That'll start to hold everything together. Battery connection bridge diddly thing. What can I diddly do you for? I'm kind of amazed that Walter White never said that. He seems like the kind of person who would say that. Maybe not even ironically. This looks like I'm really shaky, but that's actually because my arm is unsupported and I'm holding... I don't have my leverage right. Let me try that again. Hey, that didn't work either. Goodness, the day's almost over. Gosh, I'm hungry. Come on now. Yeah, I'm getting punchy. That's the thing. I'm hungry. It's late. But before we do that, good. All the way in, please. And then... Oop, I grabbed the wrong battery. Oof, I am... Let's try this again. Gosh darn it. You know, I keep trying to be clever. I should just do what I do. Okay. Dun 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 bum 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 boop. Let's just make sure she's ticking over. Darn it. Sorry, folks. Oh, yeah. Everything's cool, man. Everything's cool. Chugging along. Okay, so I need to... I just want to go now. I'm going to let this run for a second, get everything slopped around, and then I'll adjust for accuracy. I need to clean your beautiful dial, undated on the back, and then we will go from there. Okay, right. Bolted together. So there we go. Now it is time for the fabulous QT99. LCD, no. Step. 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 gate 10. Sometimes I've got to turn this thing over because it's got to be right on the thing. There we go, see? Let me see, maybe I can move this. Oh, that'd be nice. 6/100ths of a second. Yeah, I wish it was that accurate right off the bat. Well, you never know. I did put it to the default setting for the adjuster. Wow, that's kind of awful steady. Holy cow, really? Woo-wee. Well, I don't know that I have to do anything right now. I think I'm just going to let it run. This is 6/100ths of a second per day loss. So it's losing 6/100ths of a second per day. That's extremely accurate. The numbers are going to change as everything kind of runs in together. So we'll see another number here when I get through to going to reassembly, which is tomorrow, because goodness gracious, I'm hungry. Well, apparently I did something right. That's just fantastic. All right, now, what are you going to do? Okay, I snuck down here. Let's see what we can see. I haven't looked at the numbers since the last time I looked at it. Well, I did actually, but they didn't change. Ooh, in fact, it's improved. That happens sometimes. You'll see a little bit of a sling as one way or the other. Yeah, look at that. 1/100th of a second per day. Tell me that doesn't get your motor running. Wow. Okay. And there we are. Now that's your original crystal. I mean, it's got a few marks on it, but it's original to this watch. This is a beauty. I just don't think it had a lot of miles on it. I don't think it got used a whole lot. I've owned a good number of these, and this is probably one of the nicest ones I've seen. You normally see a lot of, like, usage polish on the high edges and things. And this really doesn't have that. I mean, this is a nice watch. Oh, we got our registers doing their thing. Split time works. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good angle that has the light. Split timer works. Let's try it again. Yeah, there she blows. Well, I'm gonna have to check that. Am I have to check that light? No, it's spot on. Huh. Any case, what a beautiful, 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 beautiful watch. The one question I do have, the inside of the case back has no markings whatsoever. Typically, when a watch is serviced, the watch repair person will sign the inside of the case back with an extremely sharp, like pointed awl, AWL, like a little pointer. Now, that's kind of not undoable, so I can either sign the inside of the case back, as I normally would, with a scribe, or I can use, I don't know, I could put like magic marker or something in there, so if you wanted to get rid of that servicing mark, you could. If you could just let me know, I would be super happy, and I'll get that done, and I'm about to start the other one. That's a nice watch. Yeah, this has got to be one of the nicest ones I've seen. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it.